Man, you should have seen the kids that dropped out of my school. You're dumb as hi. So sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry. Anyways, I was listening to something. I just have to make sure it's not still going. Anyways, sorry. Uh, I have. So apparently, hold on. Let me start over because I was just um in New Hampshire. Anyways, they started this whole thing where you couldn't drop out. It was like from at least for my grade for whatever it was, you couldn't drop out because you had to be like you would get in trouble. So 18, like you had to stay in school until you were 18. Um, but then the comment was is that there's like nobody who has their GED. I happen to have my GED. This is the comment that I was saying. You should have seen the people who dropped out from my school. The video was just kind of upsetting. Whatever. Regardless. Okay, so I'm updating you to update this whole thing. So, and I'm trying really hard not to edit this because I'm not a fake YouTuber. I'm not trying to give you any thing. Sorry. Anything else? This is just sorry. It is what it is. So I'm not trying to edit it or do anything. So this is my update. So I have the case in Inglewood, and I have also been, I think I've told you this, I've kind of been receiving some pictures that have been inappropriate, looking if my kids are really missing. Okay. And I'm not trying to go into this whole might be missing thing because their dad says they're there, and that's that. And I can't prove otherwise. So they are where their guardian says they are, the ones that the courts appointed only by fault because I was not there. Mind you, I didn't lose my children. I just wasn't there, and they were there. And I think something might have happened to them here, but I can't prove anything. That's just, which is why they would be traveled back here to be raped here, which says that their stepmother or their dad have some connection to Colorado, which those are just conspiracies. If the person who raped me here is actually giving me the right pictures, and those are really my children, and these things are really happening to them. So anyways, update. So I emailed the chief of police in the town that I have the rape report in with the DNA. And I had to email him twice in order to get a response on this. No, I think I emailed him either 2 or 3 times. And I got a response, and I'd have to double check. I have to start printing them out because I feel like I talk when I send an email or a text, because I can't text as fast as I talk. So, and it gets out however it gets out, and if it doesn't, however it's worded in there is worded in there. And is the way I was taught is that, as far as I know, that's the beginning of a police report. Every email should have its whatever, because I'm still trying to, and I'm while I'm asking about the old one, I'm trying to let them know something new is happening, so the case needs to be looked at. So the third time, either the second or the third time that I emailed the police, the chief of police in that town, I also sent the pictures. I sent every picture that I had in regards to that, that I have, because in the past I wasn't letting myself get into my head, because I ended up hospitalized and tried killing myself over 13 times because of them doing this to begin with. But not like this. This was nothing like this. This is that they were, the 2 people that I were around were doing and saying stuff. And like, we moved out of the apartment and everything kind of stopped. But this is different. I get on the bus and somebody will say something. And I even got to that. I think I've said this before. I even got to the point that I bought a camera so that I could start doing it. But somehow now that I bought the camera, things have ceased. So when I start to document it, when I start to do something like this, it dies down. And then it's like when I fall off, it's like I have to step away from doing this, like just, posting live on YouTube, because they'll stop while I'm doing it. And it's really awkward that they do it, but and I feel like, but the idea that the police don't take me seriously, just the idea that I'm told that I'm supposed to go be homeless so that people in this house or people in my work can feel comfortable, blows my mind. I'm not trying to make people comfortable. When I was raped, it was not comfortable. The feeling after the fact is not comfortable. So I'm not trying to make anybody else comfortable, and that sucks, but it's that way it is. I mean, I'm trying to call the cops. So if the person who raped me or anybody else who's uncomfortable wants to call the cops, they're more than welcome to. I mean, what are they going to do? Be like, she's raped, but she makes me feel uncomfortable. You have to make her leave. So anyways, I also got to the point that in certain spots throughout AA, I feel that I have been, okay, I feel very excluded. And I feel that the fact that I've been told that I'm going to be blacklisted from having a job, from AA, from NA, from CA, from HA, from all of the AAs, from, like I said, from having a job, from having Medicaid, from having everything. I'm supposed to be homeless and alone. And like, people are going to walk by me and like, like ghosted is how it's, I'm supposed to be. And again, so my family gathering, okay, anyways. So I have gone to the point that I've started emailing every one of the delegates and asking the delegates if that's something, under what circumstances would you blacklist somebody? And so there's 93 delegates, and I have done 36 or 37 of them so far. I have to take a break because mentally it's just exhausting. One, because some of the websites are kind of hard to navigate, and two, it's just I'm kind of waiting until I have every single one of their responses, or until I've emailed every single one of them to actually read some of them, because I just want to make sure that I print them all out and I have them all there, and I just say that this is me, because there's something about contempt before investigating. So this is me investigating, because I don't know how people know that I was raped, but I definitely feel that there's a lot of people who know that I was raped as a child, not necessarily as an adult. I'm saying as a child, because I feel like the only reason that I'm being raped now is because I was raped as a child. So that whole thing that says, once a victim, always a victim. One, it's because the cops don't do anything. And two, it's because somehow they network. And they need to keep you in the position that they're in, because cops do not want to investigate a homeless woman or a drug addict's rape. Why? Because she is not a viable witness. And that is the truth. That's what I've basically been flat out told by the cops. So the next step is, I did get a response from the police department. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I got a response from the police department from the original detective's boss. So I went straight to the chief of police, and I kind of knew that I went out of order, but at least the order should be put back into order. So now I've made contact with the highest one, and then with the detective, and then with not with the detective, but with the detective's boss. So I sent him an email today saying the same thing. Like, I had sent pictures. I'm trying to make this report. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be a victim. Like, I guess my issue is that, okay, obviously I'm a victim, but I don't know how to be a victim and navigate the justice system when the cops don't advocate, the advocates don't advocate. Now, mind you, these people are paid servants of the state, and the idea that they don't know that their ethics is off. So I want to get more correspondence with him. I'm going to make, if I have to go back and make another police report. Oh, actually I have to in a different city. in a different town. So I'm going to go do that and see how their ethics is. And then I'm going to have to do the ethics for each police department. And then I might have to go to the county and have the county do it from there. But I'm going to go up the ladder, and I'm going to make sure that when, because at this point, and then I was brought to my attention, the first time I was arrested, my ex put his hands on me, and then he called the cops on me and put me in jail. When that cop arrested me, I had a dress on, and I told her I needed to put underwear on, and she refused to let me put underwear on. And then she put me in the car with a guy in the car and brought me to the jail. So I need that video too. But now I have 2 videos of cops misbehaving that I want to put on the news. You see it all the time. So either those videos that they've always put on there are absolutely fake and staged, which makes me wonder why police officers are damaging police vehicles if I can't put it on there, because that means that those cops are like shooting at each other or something, and then trying to pretend to the public that they're doing something, which I guess would be why there was no arrest in that situation. But if they had a helicopter, they might have been able to find the suspect. Even Batman, there's helicopters. So if Batman's a villain, who does he go after? Children. Just keep that in mind. Those supervillains. Somebody said, why are villains always trying to change everything and superheroes trying to keep everything the same? Villains are trying to corrupt a system, and superheroes are trying to change the game. But the villains only see it from their perspective. And I could see it from their perspective, which is kind of frightening, considering that what I gather from here, because one of my other videos talks about how in the state of Colorado, at least, there are these map people, which I said, you're going to have to look that up on your own, because I'm not promoting it, and I'm not even going to go into anything. But the map people are highly, highly endorsed out here. And crossing into that, now, when I was a kid, if you Google pedophiles, being a pedophile is illegal. What makes you a pedophile is the act of being, is when you act upon the philia, the pedophilia. I don't know how else you know somebody's a pedophile unless they act upon it. Or unless, I guess, they're joking around about wanting to fuck your daughter. But at the end of the day, I guess that's between you and whatever police officer that you gotta, yell at to get your stuff done. So the issue is too, is I don't know what the police officers look like in Inglewood. I know I wasn't gonna try to say the town, but because I don't want to be a target and, be shot or anything. But so anyways, let's go back to this. I know I'm kind of everywhere, but it just proves my authenticity. You have my family gathering in New Hampshire is on Saturday. So again, I'm being threatened that my mother is going to disappear on Saturday, which I found out today is actually moved to Sunday. So she's going to disappear while I'm at church on Sunday, so that I could be fired, so that I could be homeless, so that I could be out on the street, so that I could deal with the same lady who kind of is refusing to deal with me, but she might be in like every single one of the, I want to work with homeless. I've always wanted to since I was a kid. I definitely want to be, get involved with rape advocacy, because there is none. I loved church since I was really little, and apparently she's involved with my church. And there was something else that she's involved in. I guess AA somehow, but I don't really know how. But anyways, yeah. And then apparently police don't take missing people's reports. And like I said, I can't really report my kids missing when I know that legally they live with their father. So I have to wait till they turn to adults, which is kind of terrifying, because again, I think I've kind of told you some of the stuff that, like, I guess my son is out here living with somebody and he only eats shit, like only eats poop. So this person intentionally eats something so that he knows that he has to regularly shit the minute he gets home so that my son has something to eat. Also that I think that this one, I mean, this one's kind of happened before, that they branded my daughter's vagina shut, that they have sewn her vagina shut now, that they've cut off her boobs, that they've pulled out her teeth and wired her jaw shut so that her gums would fuse together. They have electric shock therapy. What else? Oh, my son, I can't even tell you how many times apparently my son's dick has been cut off. Oh, yeah. And another one is that apparently, no, you know what? I'm going to keep this one because I'm really hoping that they're not allowed to talk to me regardless. So I'm hoping that they don't see any of this so that there's still no communication. Because if any of our stories actually, connect, then, obviously there's something there. But apparently everybody in America wants me in jail, which is kind of amusing that you don't want to, more people aren't viewing my YouTube channel, because you would think that if I'm such a villain that that I would be stalked a bit more on, YouTube. But that's another thing I was told, is I'm never going to get a viewer because of the fact that I know this all seems boring. It's not the matter of you listening. It's just a matter of it being documented later for the police issues, but it's still here. When I figure out how to make it a little bit better, I definitely will try doing it a bit more. But right now it's just kind of in the early stages. And from watching some of the other YouTubers, there's definitely this awkward beginning stage, which I hope to kind of always stay in, or I'm definitely a bit more informed and a bit able to, do it a little bit better. But anyways, all the way down to, there was something else that happened with my son. Oh yeah. So my daughter was supposed to be raped in Sturgis. And then, supposedly she had horseshoes put in her vagina. Not only horseshoes, but her cat has been dismembered and put in her vagina. That her stepmother is actually able to, if they're chipped, that she is able to actually change that chip to register to whatever she says it is and not anything else. And I know that I don't like to accuse her, but this is what I hear here. So just the connection, if there is that connection. That their kids, that I'm going to say his name because I don't give a flying fuck. This dude named Dennis Gunnarsson has raped my son. And I'm going to put that out there because if that's the case, that one drives me nuts. And I swear to you, I am so mad at myself for not taking a screenshot of that picture. But I swear to you, I saw a picture of him and my son, but my son was like 4 or 5, maybe 3. And like in between 3 and 5, which kind of is weird because I think that after 3, my son kind of stopped going over there. But I can't really recall because I've had some serious trauma happen. To be honest with you, I know where we lived, but I can't remember where my daughter went to 2nd grade, which is really messed up. But I looked at the school that I thought it was, and that school's had it's had a facelift, so I can't really be 100%. But I have had. But that's the funny part about it is that's when that downstairs neighbor that we had called the police on my 2-year-old running around the house, which is the only time I've actually ever had police contact for anything to do with my children. And it wasn't even that they were reporting me for anything bad. It was literally that she was bitching that my kids were running around the house. That sucks. That's life. I've lived in an apartment before where I can hear the upstairs neighbors screaming at each other, and I don't call the cops. Fuck, you could hear them slamming each other down on the floor. And you know what? People still don't call the cops. So how this lady called the cops on a 2-year-old terrifies me. But now he might be in danger, and I don't hear her doing that now. Not that I know that she knows that he's in danger, but I'm saying I don't hear, I just think that kind of came out wrong. I just meant that I don't see anybody calling the cops now, but of course, this is me believing what I want to believe, and that my kids are safe with their dad and their stepmother at home with her 2 boys. But my son's birthday is coming up, and I should see pictures on his birthday, and I'm kind of excited. If not, I'm going to make a police report. Because at the very, very least, him and his sister should get together for lunch since they're both adults and on their own, and should go get lunch together and should post a picture, even if it's of one of the other, just like his sister posting a picture of him saying how she's all grown up and taking her brother for his 18th birthday out to lunch. That's, my brother and I never got along that well, and I still would have done something like that. Probably would have embarrassed him because he doesn't seem to, care about me too much, but it is what it is. So with that being said, I think I said everything I wanted to say. Oh, so now I have, with the pictures, the issue that I have is that it's terrifying to know that your kids may not be safe trying to report your rape. So when I'm being threatened that they're not okay, their stepmother seems to be in on it because she's not posting pictures to kind of verify that they're not okay. There's a bit of an issue. And then where they're just so like, one of my exes said that I'd regret not talking to my kids every day. I will never regret that because I don't want the drug in their life. I wish that they didn't put me through whatever mental stuff they didn't, which goes to show that he put me through some real, like he was the one fucking with my head. Because at the end of the day, they didn't need to, like, that's like being in a mental ward and calling your kid every day and like trying to be like, no, I needed to get off the drugs. I needed to get away from those people. I'm away from those people in an environment that either every single one of them has to act like the way they were making me act, or things have to be normal. And the thing is that things have to be normal. So we have to pull ourselves out of that little hole that they put me in and remember that everything still has to be normal. Because the meth-induced psychosis thing, if there was some sort of anything but that, then it would be anything but that. But that's the truth. So, anyways, I think I got most of it out. I'm not. I'm not. Let's see what else. What else was I going to say? I don't think I have anything else to say. Oh yeah. So that my kids, I think I said this before, my kids sleep on the streets, and until I'm back on the streets, they have to be on the streets. And that my friend from high school, that apparently she works at the police department that I'm trying to make these reports out of, and apparently she is the one who's hell-bent on arresting me. So if I get arrested by a female, that would probably be her then, right? Obviously, I don't really know what she looks like, but I do, but I don't. Like, I haven't seen her since I left high school in 2001. So we'll see. But anyways. Oh yeah, that's right. So I'm supposed to be fired tomorrow. My mother's supposed to disappear tomorrow. And it's because one of the girls, actually, it's between, I would say technically every single one of them has some sort of issue with me working with me. Although 2 of them I've worked with since I started, and only 2 of them have been there just as long as me. And I don't have a problem with either one of them. I actually barely talked to one of them. I think I've said like maybe 50 words to the kid since I started there. And the other guy, him and I've worked together a lot more, but there's really not any issue between the 2 of us. And there's a different building, but I don't really talk to anybody in that building. So I don't know who in that building would be like, hey, get her out of here. She has to go. Um, I think that's all I have to say. I know this one's a bit long-winded, but oh, okay. So I live in a sober living, right? And I pulled my background check, and I noticed that there's some people from my addresses, including but not limited to actually my brother's fiance is on my thing because we have a familiar something in common, and I didn't realize it did that when I went to go print it out, or I would have found a way to get rid of those. But like even old phone numbers, like if somebody had the same phone number as me, that name comes up. And some of those names on there are actually quite interesting. So I'm wondering how accurate I think that most of you should check your background, do your background check through Truthfinder and see how many of you have inaccuracies and there are things that are absolutely crazy, especially people with multiple phone numbers or multiple addresses. I think that you really should check it out and see exactly how many things are inaccurate because I just really feel that there's a lot of flaw in that. Just on those two, I can't really talk about everything else, but those two. All right. So I'm going to go put my computer back in my locker because I live in sober living and it's valuable. So it's got to go into my locker. And I got to lock it up before I get in trouble for not having it locked. So I am going to let you go and I'm done talking. I think I said everything I needed to say. If not, I can always log back on. Oh yeah. So I did think of something else. So it's kind of neat though, actually. Now that there's that threatening with me losing my job, I just found there's this Chic Denver thing. So it's like putting women through like into like this workforce thing. That's what I want to try doing. So I mean, I'd rather go work at Amazon, but apparently Amazon isn't going to hire me because I might offend people there too because they know I was raped and they know I want to press charges. So they're going to bully me into not being able to press charges. But my main mission is other stuff, the nonprofits that I've been told I was not allowed to. Like there's two of them that I've been told, like not necessarily to my face. One of them I've not even. I mean, I think that I've tried to because they supposedly have therapy there, but that hasn't. I guess their waiting list is monstrous. So, but I guess that's the mental health crisis in Colorado. And I'm telling you, there is one. Think about the shootings. When I say that these people are literally scared straight by these criminals, I mean, they are scared straight by these criminals. I mean, to the point that I'm sure that if one of these guys walked into their house, that they'd just give their child away. That's the truth. Anyways, and I don't think the mayor of Denver is any help. He's very showboaty Hollywood, and I think that he is probably one of those people who would buy your child for you and sell it to North Korea or South Korea or China or wherever they buy child pornography over there that they talk about on TV. But really, the reality of it is that there's plenty of people in Colorado who will pay for it. So, like I said, Colorado, apparently you can rape women, you can rape children, and the cops will literally look the other way.